Hello and welcome to Unikron's Gaming. Today it's all about House of the Dead 3. Ah yes, light gun games. How I've missed you. Obviously this is all my stuff here. This is what I'm using to play the game. My PlayStation Move controllers, my gun attachments, and obviously you need the camera and the PS3, which obviously I have. Anyway, let's get to some brief history about this game, and this is from Wikipedia. It says, The House of the Dead 3 is a 2002 horror-themed light gun arcade game, and the third installment of the House of the Dead series of video games. Developed by WoW Entertainment and Sega, it was ported to the Xbox in 2003. The what? Wait, the Xbox had a light gun attachment? Huh. Anyway, Microsoft Windows in 2005, the Wii in 2008 in a compilation with House of the Dead 2, and PlayStation 3 in 2012 with PlayStation Move support. That's what I'm using to play here. The game was remade with typing controls as the Typing of the Dead 2 in 2008. The game continues the story of the previous games and introduces new gameplay concepts. The game's secondary protagonist is Lisa Rogan, daughter of Thomas Rogan and Sophie Richards. So yeah, that's the brief history about this game. I actually have played this game within the last 6 months or so. Heart of Gaming. When I went to the arcades, there's a video of that on this channel as well. Just look that up if you're interested. So I can compare these, and it compares very favorably. In fact, I actually prefer playing it at home because the gun attachment is actually lighter, and it's still got vibration in it as well. My screen, I would say, is my screen bigger? I don't know what the arcade was. I don't know, but yeah, the enjoyment factor was still there, and obviously the game looks better now rather than the 2002 version. So even though PS3 was 2012, you know, it still looks cleaner on a modern day TV set, and it was accurate as hell given that it was a PlayStation Move and the eye camera. Anyway, that's enough of me waffling. Let's get to it. Presentation. Okie dokie then, presentation. One of the nice things is at the beginning you get to calibrate your move control. So just in case you've moved your camera or anything like that, that's all good. What I was a little bit surprised about was that because this is a port basically to the PS3, there's some of the options that you can change as well, which are nice. One of the best things to do is take off the what do you call it? The reticule, you know, the crosshair. So that's always nice. Definitely do that straight away. Just definitely do that. You don't need it on the screen really. It's supposed to be a light gun game like the arcade. What was I saying again beforehand? Yes, I expected it to be a full 16:9, which it wasn't. It does seem like this is a proper HD port of a standard definition game. It's very sharp. It must be 1080p 60. The texture work is very good for this type of game and from what the arcade was. I mean, it's not like a Metal Gear Solid 4 or Resident Evil 5 or a Uncharted 2 and 3. No, it's not that, but it is very good for what we have here. Nice and sharp, great visuals here. Everything's clear, crystal clear. So I do like that. There's no glitches or anything like that. It just was a really good looking game. The UI is excellent. I don't know if there's a color palette swap anywhere. I mean, I know instead of having like the gore thing, you can be like green or just like, okay, a bit of gore or heavy gore. I switched straight to heavy. I went all the blood, all the guts. I went all of that. But what I mean is that I don't know if this game is cooler than the arcade or if it's more brown than the arcade, if it's less colorful. That I don't know. I don't remember it being any different from what I played a few months back, but even though that screen wasn't the greatest when I played it in the arcade. But this here was fine. It was beautiful. The presentation, I have no faults for it at all. Crisp, clear, just what you'd want from a light gun arcade port. Okay, one gripe, only one. The guy, you can see his hands or her hands to the left with the shotgun. For the life of me, I can't remember if that was in arcade. I don't know if it was. You can't turn it off. It's not needed. So yeah, a bit weird that we see the hand to the left holding the gun. Yeah, that's my only negative, and I couldn't see an option to turn that off. So I'm assuming that's baked into the game. But yeah, basically. But yeah, I can't fault presentation. I think it's great. I love it. Love the art style, the chunky graphics. It's just great. I mean, look at that. It tells you where the weak spots are, the gun marks, the hit marks. Everything is great when it comes to graphics and presentation. No, I've got no qualms at all, really. Audio. Shaken up. Much like their presentation, audio is near enough as good as you'd want it, really. Just there's nothing wrong with it. The voices are crisp, they're clear. The voice acting is cheesy as hell, which I love. It goes along with the cutscenes, which are cheesy as hell. It's just the whole vibe is excellent. The gun sounds meaty. The groans sound great. The chains sound good. The axes or knives when they throw at you and your bullet hits them sounds great. All the audio is fantastic. Yes, it's playing off a Blu-ray, so it should be good. But the fact that it is to me one of the best things. And even when you're reloading the game, you hear that and that. You have the shotgun. It sounds great. It doesn't grate you. I mean, it's not annoying, so it doesn't grate. Doesn't get on your nerves. Yeah, so it's just good. Some of the enemies even sound different. So that's pretty cool. Look at all the blood splatter. Yeah, the zombies. It's just a really great sounding game. Even the bats have their own sound and stuff like that. And there's these worm-like things that squelch when your shotgun hits them, and it sounds really nasty. Just what you want to hear, really. Really nice. I mean, those things there, yeah, really cool. So, someone just messaged me on my PlayStation. Hopefully that didn't turn up in the recording. Yeah, so it's just really good, to be honest. Really, really nice sound. Obviously, I can't confirm this for myself because I only played it for TV and it wasn't connected into a sound system or sound bar. But I think this is like omnidirectional sound. So if the enemies are appearing from the left or the right, you hear it from those speakers. And because this is a PS3, I wasn't able to test that out, and I don't have any PS3 gaming headphones. But on the PS4 and PS5 I use gaming headphones, but on the PS3 they don't work, the ones that I have, so I wasn't able to test it. But I believe it does. I believe it does have multi-directional sound, which is really good as well, because it just sounded so crisp and clear, and I thought I could hear a little bit of it when I was playing. But because I was playing late at night, I couldn't really crank up the volume to make sure, because, you know, family, people sleeping, I have a wife, you know, so it's one of those things, really. Yeah, so that I couldn't test that properly, but I'm sure it does have it. But if not, cool, I'm wrong, but I don't believe I am. The background music is also suitably cheesy, which is nice. The bosses have a theme sound as well. I just don't really have much to say about the audio because it's just on point. What I'd actually be really interested to know is that how is the audio of this version of House of the Dead 3 compared to the OG Xbox port in 2000, was it 3 or 2, whenever they said it was out, and the Wii version. I wonder if any of those are slightly muffled, because The Xbox must have been on a DVD, so that's probably fine. But I'm wondering if the Wii version had good sound, or was it just stereo? It'd be interesting to do a comparison. Unfortunately, I can't because I don't have access to an OG Xbox anymore. Gave that away years ago, and I never owned a Wii. Oh, my wife did, but she sold that years ago. And once for sure, I never owned this game. So yeah, it'd just be nice to, audio-wise, just to hear the different sounds, like DVD versus Blu-ray versus. I'm assuming the Wii was DVD, yeah. Yeah, so it'd be good to hear the different sounds. If one was muffled, or if one had more channels of audio, you know, it'd be just you know, just one of those things. Okay, this is probably the most important part of this video, fun factor. I am from a generation where I come from light gun games in the arcade. I am that generation. Grew up in the 80s, born in the 70s, so arcades for me were 80s and 90s and onwards. I love light gun games. My favourite are the Time Crisis, especially Time Crisis 2. I have Time Crisis 1, 2 and 3. Hell, I've got 4 and the other one as well. But yeah, this was so much fun. So much fun. I'm gonna say this. The boss fights were great. I mean, look, you know where the weak spot is on this one, on this weird sloth, which is not slow. Very weird. But anyway, yeah, in 2-player mode, it must be even more fun. The fact is, if you have a PlayStation 3, just go to eBay, buy a couple of moves, buy a couple of gun things, the plastic gun thing holders. This game is still on the PS3. What's the date today? I think today's April the 30th, 2025, Anno Domini, AD, the year of your Lord if you're Christian, or I don't know, Chinese calendar, or whatever calendar that you go by. But anyway, that's what it is as of this voiceover today. This game is still on the PlayStation Network digitally. I believe it's £5. That's Great British pounds. So it's very cheap. So it's House of the Dead 4 and the other House of the Dead as well. Very cheap. Do yourself a favor, just play these games. Just play, especially this House of the Dead 3. It's so much fun. You know what? I'm gonna play in 2-player mode because I have 2 gun attachments and 2 move controllers. I'm gonna do 2-player mode. This game, this is the most fun I've had with a light gun game in God knows how long. Because when I've played this stuff at the arcade, one gun's always not working. The screen sometimes is a bit dodgy, or I don't know, because it's CRT, not phosphor, but the tubes go in, so the colours going off at one side, or the gun's dodgy and it's not registering all the hits, or you can't recalibrate the gun on the arcade. There's always an issue somewhere, but this, no issues. You just calibrate at the start. It's just a beautiful arcade experience that looks good on your current TV now. It's a shame that these aren't in VR as well officially, so people can just go and buy it if they have any type of VR. But yeah, fun factor is just of the highest order. I couldn't believe how much fun I had with this. Considering, like I said, I'm a Time Crisis guy. I didn't really play Virtual Cop because I ain't buying no goddamn Saturn. No, not at all. I didn't bother the Dreamcast really. So yeah, after the Mega Drive, I didn't really bother with Sega too much. I just went to PlayStation. So yeah, I do have the Virtual Cop collection on the PS2, but it doesn't work on my TV because obviously the light gun technology doesn't work with LED TVs and yada yada yada. We all know what I'm talking about. But this here, this is fantastic. Just what a great time to play. That doesn't make sense. What a great time to play. What a time I had while playing it. Just great. So yeah, fun factor, just out of this world. I was just smiling. Okay, I had one minor issue, but that's just me. And I'll tell you about that in a second. Well, in a bit near the end. This is how important fun factor is. They remade House of the Dead recently. I know it's available for the PS5. There's no light gun and it's not in VR. And apparently it's terrible. It's got ragdoll physics. Everything's changed. And this is what I mean. So you can play the original. It looks better in pictures, but in motion, not necessarily. And it's just changed way too much. It's lost the feel of the original. It just doesn't. It doesn't do it. So when you see these versions where they just done it in HD, really, it's just a port rather than a remake. It didn't lose anything for me. It still got the flavour of the arcade original. It's like you don't want to be eating KFC, and when you bite into it, it tastes like a pork pie. If you don't know what pork pie is, I can't help you. So yeah, you want it to taste like fried chicken from the south, with the flavouring from there. You don't want it tasting like a different meal entirely. It's not okay. Then here's another example. You don't want to have a hamburger and it tastes like I don't know, a lettuce and cucumber sandwich. That's not right. You don't want that at all. So yeah, I had high hopes for that remake, but you know, no gun attachments. It's not available. You can't play in VR. So yeah, just go back to stuff like this, which is the way to play, if you ask me. It's just like, okay, make it for the home, move attachments, there you go. Or just the Wii U controllers, and I'm assuming that their Xbox version had a gun attachment to it. So yeah, it's sad that they messed it up. Really sad. Anyway, this was my only gripe with the game. This final boss, this Jor-El looking dude. Get back to Virtual Fire, because what are you doing here? Anyway, I got hand cramp with this game. Well, this boss, sorry, just this boss. He took forever and a day to destroy it, and forever and a day, and I actually got hand cramp. I was like, wow. But I hadn't played a light gun game in donkey's years for a long session at home, so that's probably why. But it was worth it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the way that you can now choose which avenues to go down. It gives you a choice at the start of certain stages. That's nice. The audio is great. The visuals are great. The gameplay is great. I want to play this in 2-player, but the fact that it's still got a 2-player mode in there is great. The fact that they didn't mess it up like the recently remake of House of the Dead, that's just pants. It's just like, yeah, it's suitably cheesy. The acting is cheesy, the script is cheesy, the story is cheesy. It's just great. It's what an arcade game should be. You can just turn this on, have a great half an hour, put it down, and be like, yeah, cool. As long as your controllers are charged, your move controllers. So yeah, a great game. So like I said, if you have access to a PS3, whether you've got move controllers or not, buy the game, then get the move controllers, even if you don't want to get the gun attachments. But then again, why would you not want to get the gun attachments? It does feature rumble, so the move controllers rumble, so therefore the gun attachments rumble as well, which is good. Yeah, it's just, I had so much fun with this game. I just had so much fun. It's a great thing. And there's no white borders around your screen. It's just the games that it's made for, and this is made for the Move in particular. Obviously you could play it with a standard DualShock 3. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. Why would you even want to hold a DualShock 3 in your hands? That controller's awful. But anyway, yeah, it's just, and obviously did I say this before? But you need the camera. You need the camera to go along with it, the Move camera. So yeah, make sure you have that as well. So yeah, definitely make sure you have that. So the Move, you don't necessarily need the other attachment. Realistically, you don't need that for this game. You need the camera, and you need internet, because your PS3 has to go online to the PlayStation Store to purchase the game. The game is not available physically. I know there's a ton of people who love their physical copies and their collectors and stuff. Too effing bad with this one. You're gonna have to buy it online. It's just digital only, unfortunately. So yeah, that's what you're gonna have to do. So that's what you need to play this game. Go and do it. You'll have a great time. I most certainly did, and I'm gonna play this in 2-player just to have even more fun. Yep, cool. I'll crank up the difficulty level as well. Could it be 2 of us? So yeah, go and do that. But that's the fun factor section over with now.
House of the Dead 3.
Bonus round. Okay, here's something that I didn't know that the game was going to have. Much like the PS2 and the PSP Sega Mega Drive collection, this has extra contents with interviews from the developers and such. I haven't watched the whole thing. I don't know if there's more than one interview or if there's more bonus footage or other bits and pieces in there. I just know that there's an interview. That's as far as I got. I didn't go any further in that. So I will do afterwards, but just know that there's extra content and there's at least one interview. There could be more. There could be more stuff in there. I don't know. But there's the reticule thing. I turned that off. You don't need it on there. You just don't. Even though you can change the shape of it and the color if you want to, but I didn't need it. I think that's for people who are just using the controller personally, but I turned it off because that's not in the spirit of light gun games. But yeah, there's this interview here with a couple of the guys who made the game. Takashi Oda, hopefully I said that right. And what's your name? Yeah, okay, the producer. Yeah, Mr. Producer. But anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope you all was entertained. Hope you get a chance to play it. Hope you all are well. I shall see you in my next video. Peace out. Later.
You didn't have to have any rules against things like blood spurting out.